There's probably not a large Muslim population, or there would be multiple Islamic centers. And you know why that is? Because when there's a small population in an area, the Sunnis and the Shiites will meet together. When there's sufficient to where that becomes uncomfortable and you can now have two locations, they will divide. So it seems like it's a fairly small community. But on Fridays, you will find faithful Muslims there at the mosque. And in that little building, there will be something called the Qibla. And the Qibla points toward Mecca. Specifically, it points toward the stone in the corner of the Kaaba in Mecca. And you will have there the imam leading maybe a very small group, segregated by male and female, the men in the front, the women in the back, leading them in the prescribed prayers in Arabic. And so they will be worshiping Allah. Now again, I don't know how often you would run into these folks. It seemed when I was traveling overseas that God decreed that every single time I got into an Uber or a cab, I got to practice my witnessing to Muslims. It was wonderful. I think a few of them took a little bit longer route so we could have a longer conversation, to be perfectly honest with you. Something you need to know. You may have outreach over at the university, and you may have to tackle people and put their arms behind their back to get them to talk about anything even semi-spiritual with you. You don't have to do that with the Muslims. The vast majority of Muslims want to talk to you. And they want to talk about spiritual things. They want to talk about why you believe what you believe about Jesus. They want to understand how it is that you can believe that you should follow Jesus's teachings in your life, because they've been taught you really can't trust the New Testament. They have been given a tremendous amount of false understanding about what we believe. And guess which Christian group has absolutely the most consistent, biblically based, historically accurate, powerful message to deliver to the Muslim people? We do. We do. You and I. And ladies, there's a bunch of those Muslim women, especially if they're from another country or first generation, they will not talk to us men. They won't. It's not considered appropriate. If anyone's going to present the gospel to them, it's going to be you. And that means we need to know what we believe. We need to know what they believe. I don't have time this morning for that. But they believe that Jesus is a mere Rasul, a mere prophet from God. Very different than any other prophet, but still merely a Rasul. He is not the Son of God. He did not eternally exist. He did not die upon a cross. Surah 4:157 specifically denies that Jesus dies upon the cross. It's the only verse in the entire Quran that says that. I direct you to a book I wrote a number of years ago called What Every Christian Needs to Know About the Quran, if you want further information on that. But the point is, they don't have a mediator. They don't have a risen Savior. And the result is tragic.